Get this weak stuff out of here.
What's up, everybody? We are N4L. We're coming back with a new video. Our first week impressions of Destiny 2. I am James, aka Escobar, and this is
Alex, aka Big Bang Cordova.
Yeah, so we haven't made a video in a while. We haven't really been doing much of anything, actually, because, you know, we have busy lives. We're both adults and whatnot. But we have been playing Destiny 2 now for, it's been a week?
Solid week.
Solid week. So we're kind of just wanting to give everybody our impressions of it, considering that we were really, really big into the first Destiny and played the hell out of it. So, first impressions.
I mean, it's basically more of Destiny 1, but a lot more cleaned up, a lot more fine-tuned, so to speak. But looking at it from Bungie's perspective of, you know, from Halo 1 to 2, there's nothing really that big leap forward, so to speak. You know, Halo 2 brought in new alien race, dual weapons, just ridiculous new content. But Destiny's kind of like, you still have the same weapons, you still have the same enemies, but it's just more, it's fine-tuned to me. Like, it's better. It should have been what Destiny 1 should have been, so to speak. Because, you know, we played Destiny from the very beginning, and the grind fest was just sucked your life away, pretty much.
Yep.
But this is it's a lot better. It's a lot more streamlined. It's not so grindy, even with the high level stuff. The campaign is actually followable. We can actually follow it.
That's true. They actually have a cohesive story for anybody who hasn't played it.
Yeah.
The first Destiny made no sense. The story was just
darkness.
Didn't make it. Yeah, didn't make any sense.
It was live versus dark.
Even 3 DLCs later, story still didn't make sense. But this one actually has a storyline that you start from the beginning and you actually end it, and there's a final boss and everything makes sense. And it's actually a really, really good storyline.
There's cutscenes.
Yep.
There's actually the first Destiny just kind of just threw you into places and said, "Here you go.
Yep. Go kill this enemy. Go do that."
Wizards on the moon, whatnot.
Yep.
This one actually has memorable characters. Kate Six, my boy Nathan Fillion, holding it down.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's just it's way better in that aspect because you can actually follow, you know, what's going on at the beginning, middle, end. And then even after the campaign's over is when like the real meat of the game opens up, the end game, so to speak. Strikes, Crucible, Nightfall. We played pretty much all of it except the raid, which we're doing tonight. But Strikes are super.
N4L's first foray into the raid tonight. Probably gonna get our asses kicked, but for me, I think the coolest thing so far is it's easier. Like he said, the grinding isn't as crazy. You don't have to sit there and grind out hour after hour after hour of things just to get a certain piece of gear that's going to be useless 2 months down the road.
Yeah.
The thing for me that I find weird is how easy it is to get legendary and exotic stuff. I don't like that particularly because it kind of ruins the achievement of it. Like, you're just kind of given an exotic in the spoiler alert. You're giving a couple exotics
like
in the game.
Level 10.
Yeah, when you're really low level, which it's kind of dumb because exotics are supposed to be the most powerful gear in the game, and you're getting them when you're really low level. Luckily, you can infuse that later on down the road if it's really good to you and use it later. But yeah, for me, it just the legendary and exotic gear is flying out a little too quick. I think they should dial that back a little bit. But I do like the grind is not as severe as it once was.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny 1 grind was literally, when you were done with the game, you would just play strikes, you would play patrols, and that's pretty much it. You would have to just grind and hope you got something. This one has exotic quests where you can actually go out and do a quest and you know at the end you're going to get exotic. The strikes, I mean, give you actually stuff that you'll use, not just, they won't give you a lower level than what you're at. So you always feel like you're progressing, which is good. That was a big complaint with Destiny 1 to where I already have a level 250 assault rifle. Why is the game giving me a level 100 assault rifle? Like, that's just,
Yeah.
you know, pretty much sums up Destiny 1 in a way. But Destiny 2 is like you're always getting something progressively better, which makes you feel like you want to keep playing just to keep leveling up more.
I'm actually really curious to see how the raid's gonna work, because in the first Destiny, you played a raid and you got the raid gear, and then the next DLC would bring the next raid, but that raid gear would just become absolutely obsolete after that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do with this raid and how they're gonna fix that. Hopefully, once we get this raid gear, it's gonna be able to be carried on, further, maybe to the next DLC or whatever, but it'll still be usable or relevant, because in the first Destiny, not being able to use that raid gear after that first raid was kind of stupid. You basically just threw it away. You did all that work, especially because the helmet. You had to go into the hard raid just to get the helmet, and the hard raid is ridiculous, like ridiculously hard. You spent hour upon hour upon hour failing, going in there trying to do it all over again. Trying to figure out what the cheese was so we could beat the damn raid for once. So I'm hoping that this raid, the armor's still gonna be able to be relevant after the raid completely.
Well, and another thing too that I think they fixed is, and I think it even pertains to the raid because I read about it. It's kind of like when you do an activity, like a strike or something, you don't just get the gear now; you get tokens. To where that tokens you cash them in with the vendor, and then the vendor will give you more gear. So it's like now, let's say when you're playing a strike, you don't get something you want. It doesn't feel as heartbreaking in Destiny 1 because like you would literally spend 20 minutes in a strike and get some crappy gun that you already had, but now they give you coins as well as loot to where when you're done with the strike you can go to the vendor, talk to him, cash in your coins, and he'll give you something that can be something entirely different. So that I think even pertains to the raid, because what I read about is they give you raid gear and then they'll give you raid tokens to where you can go talk to a vendor and probably get, I don't know, it might be not as high level gear, but still it's better than nothing.
By the way, vendor gear, Bungie, Destiny, dropping the ball with Xur. Okay, this crap that he has this week is the same stuff that we already got in like the beginning of the game. And I don't know what you're trying to pull here, but I don't appreciate that. Should have been new stuff that we could buy, not stuff that was already given to every class. I mean, yes, it's at 270 light level, but you can infuse your armor to get that high already anyway if you're already that high. So you're dropping the ball, man. Fix that shit. And by the way, kids, this is an alcoholic beverage, so if you're not 21, don't drink these. And if you are 21, well, fucking cheers.
Yeah, the first Xur that Destiny 1 had, that guy had Galahorn, that guy had everything.
Yeah, he did.
And no one was expecting
Icebreaker,
him,
all kinds of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so I think now that everyone's expecting him, they dialed it back. But
well, not so much that. I mean, he didn't actually get Galahorn until way later. Like, Galahorn wasn't even available in the beginning. Galahorn you had to get from a random drop.
he was.
But I know, because he had Icebreaker and all that, but Galahorn, not in the very beginning, like later on he did.
I'm pretty sure week 1 was Galahorn.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
I'm wrong, man.
But no one knew what he was. So
nobody had the legendary coins.
Yeah, no one had the coins stocked up.
I'm super glad they got rid of that because I thought the legendary coins were kind of crappy. Yeah. Like now, basically what it is you destroy your legendary or exotic armor that you don't need, and so you're given legendary marks, and that's basically how you buy all the special stuff. That's the only thing I actually do like about the fact that they're pumping out so many legendary and exotics, is that you're able to get rid of a lot of them that you don't use, so you can get these legendary marks to use them on Xur, or I think there's a couple other vendors that use them as well.
Infusing your items too.
Infusing your items, most importantly. The thing for me that I like, I'm not even really big on customization at all. I really don't care what my character looks like or anything, but I like that they added that element in this game now a lot. Like with sparrows or your ships, you can have shaders now that could be for your ships or your sparrow, even your weapons, your armor, and I like how it's its own separate thing. You have microtransactions where you can go buy those, but you also earn those in game as well. So after you turn level 20, you level up, but you get a right engram, and all that engram is used just for customization stuff. Some of the dances are actually really funny. Funky dance. They got, if you're a Arrested Development fan, they got the chicken dance coming out soon. I'm gonna buy that immediately if I don't already unlock it with real money, because that shit's way too funny.
I think I'm my boy, the salt chef.
They got this guy, the Salt Bay, man. That guy's all about it. He does a little glimmer.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
So campaign good. Strikes, big improvement over Destiny 1, where it was literally you just run and kill everything, no mechanics whatsoever. These strikes that we played actually have somewhat mechanics where the bosses have phases.
Yeah.
So you're not just blindly shooting on like bullet sponges. They have phases where you need to do some type of mechanic like lower his shield or capture a point to lower, his defenses or something. So that's good.
Another thing with the mechanics too is the public events now have mechanics as well.
Public
There's
events are useful.
Public events that drop a chest after you defeat the enemy at the end, the mini boss, if you will. But the good thing about it is every single public event now has a little trick to it where you can turn it into a heroic public event. Once the heroic public event happens, you have a better chance of getting way better gear as well as exotic engrams. I just got an exotic engram earlier today, and it turned into the Celestial Nighthawk, which was one of the best hunter helmets that they had in the first Destiny. They brought it back, and so I'm pretty stoked about that. But that's another way. That's another way that they changed it. They changed the game. They took what they already had and they just built on it, and they made it a lot more fun to experience. You can literally go in any planet now and just grind out public events for gear, and you don't really have to do it like so much, but you still get really good gear out of it. So that's another thing that they did that's really awesome. Crucible, I mean, it's still the same thing. For me, I'm glad they added more modes though, instead of it just being like, capture a point or team deathmatch. They now have where it's like kill confirmed from Call of Duty. So you kill somebody, you have to go and pick up the little, what is it, an orb or whatever the hell it is. And then they also have a search and destroy mode, which I am a huge fan of. Yeah. Playing Call of Duty, that's all I ever played, so I'm glad that they added that. But it's essentially still the same thing. One of the best improvements for Crucible is that the shotguns aren't ridiculously powerful from far away anymore. You could get a shotgun and snipe somebody from, basically like half across the map, which is completely stupid, but they took that out. So you have to be kind of pretty much on them, and if you're not, you're going to get killed because they're going to still be shooting you, basically.
Yeah, and that's what that's probably the biggest thing they changed from Destiny 1 to 2 is the whole weapon system.
Yeah.
To where now fusion rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles are all considered power weapons.
Yeah.
With rocket launchers and swords and all that. So now in the Crucible, that means we're not having people start off with shotgun ammo and just running up and shooting you like 10 seconds into the match. Which the only thing that I didn't like about Crucible, because I played it in the beta, was 4v4.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have stayed at 6v6.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I don't understand why they did that either. And it just seems like it's not enough. Like there's not enough people. And because there's 4v4, the matches take way too long now. And that's what I don't like. Even like the kill confirmed one, you have to get, and the amount of kills you have to get in that certain time frame is way too much for 4v4. I was playing earlier, and we got our asses kicked, but the guys we were playing already had 35 kills on us, and it was only like 75% of the full amount. So I mean, they're putting way too many kills and not enough people playing the Crucible for it to go fast enough.
Yeah.
So that's an issue that I have with the Crucible as well.
So that covers all pretty much the modes, campaign, stripes, Crucible.
Like I just bust out now, dude.
Well, we can talk about like the new exotics, the guns and whatnot. I don't know exactly what they're bringing back or what they have already brought back. Well, two of them, one of them that we're both trying to get right now, he actually already has it, but I'm trying to get is a Mida multi-tool, which was probably one of the best, if not the best, primary gun, in Destiny 1. And they brought it back, obviously for a good reason, because it's incredibly good, and it's incredibly good for Crucible players. Other than that, I mean, I haven't really seen anything else that's brought back from the first Destiny besides that one. I haven't experienced anything. I don't know if you've seen anything online. I haven't, but
I can't really. I mean, I know that the quests now, after you beat the main game, they give you more quests after, and those are, majority of them are for exotics. So it's like
there it is. Look at
now you don't have to just hope for a random drop. You can actually do quest lines that, I mean, some of them have ridiculous requisites, like what the Mida one is. You have to kill 50 enemies while you're in the air. They're not
the submachine gun.
Yeah, they're not too hard, but they just take a while. So it's like,
Well, I mean, I like the challenge of it because they're not just giving you the exotic. You know, you have to do some work. They did that in the first Destiny, but those ones were like a lot more harder. These ones are a little bit more, boiled down, more simple, kind of straightforward.
So then the quest lines, everyone can get an exotic now if you just do the quest line. Basically, it's not just up to random drops like Destiny 1. So that's another thing that they heard a lot of complaints about and they fixed. I feel like, I mean, Bungie listened, but there's just so much more that they could have done, I guess, as far as, you know, like I said, Halo 2 brought in dual pistol, dual weapons, a whole new enemy class. These ones, the enemies are pretty much the same from Destiny 1, except maybe one or two unique new enemies. You know, like the Cabal have that flamethrower.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like that fact that they didn't really change up the enemies too much, because I think what they really did and what they needed to do was just kind of continue the story so it was still cohesive. So instead of just throwing all these other random enemies at you that you wouldn't even know what the hell they were there for, you have the same enemies, but they actually blended a full story with it. Another one of my favorite things about this one is the fact that they didn't just give you the subclasses like they did in the first one. You didn't just get it at a certain level. This one, they added another storyline to it as well. You find it in a random drop, and then you go and you do that quest, and it's its own little quest line, little mini quest line. And even when you're on or in the Forbidden Forest or whatever it is to unlock that subclass, it gives you even more lore and a little bit of a backstory with your specific person. Like the hunters are Cade, so Cade tells a little bit more of a story to it, and then you're given that subclass as well as the the Void subclass, the Warlock, not the Warlock, but the Void Hunter subclass, and for everybody else.
Yeah, that was a cool thing too, where they have each class's master, so to speak. Cade for the hunters. Zavala for the Titans, pretty much give a backstory on that subclass, and just instead of just giving it to you and saying here, And
a core for the Warlocks. We want to give Warlocks a little bit of love, even though we don't like playing them because they suck.
Yeah, they're Mirai.
And that Skrilla, dude, garbage. Anyway, but overall, so far, I mean, I really like it. I have a lot more people that weren't playing before because they didn't like the grind are now playing. Yeah. Our friend Ben is playing. My roommate Lano is playing. A lot more people are getting into this one because they made it. They boiled it down, made it more simple, straightforward. They took away all the monotonous grind of it that you don't have to do anymore. And I'm just curious to see what's going to happen with the raid.
Yeah, I mean we didn't even talk about the side quests. They replaced the patrols from Destiny 1 were just these stupid little beacons that you had to do the same thing over and over again. But now they actually give you side quests that they call them adventures.
Yeah, those are pretty fun too.
So, I mean, it's basically, they heard all the complaints about Destiny 1. They fixed most of them, a good majority of them. So it's like, if you never played Destiny 1, I would highly recommend checking out 2 because it's basically what Destiny 1 should have been.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're coming in fresh, there's really not... The story, it pretty much... You
do not need to play the first Destiny to understand Destiny 2 because there was really not a whole lot to understand with Destiny. It doesn't continue. There's a little bit of continuance in the beginning of this one. You're basically a guardian that gets his light taken away. Spoiler alert, I mean, it's in the commercial. But so that's basically what's going on in this one. You don't really need to play the first one. Just play this one, you'll be fresh to it, and I guarantee you'll more than likely like it.
And I mean, we didn't even talk about the big thing about Destiny is the whole co-op section of it. You can literally play the whole game with a friend, with the fire team, 3 people. So, and that's the big thing why we really like it is that if there's only one person on, you can play with that one person. If there's your whole group on, well, you can get on a raid like we're going to do tonight. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good multiplayer game. Even if you're not into PvP, they call it PvE. That's multiplayer as well, which is what we mostly play.
Yep.
So yeah, and we'll be coming back with more. Like I'm gonna make a Nightfall video of us when we beat our first Nightfall. They changed that completely from Destiny 1.
Well, we already did, but yeah, we haven't talked about that. And we wanted to keep this kind of like short and sweet. One more quick thing is the clan page. They had clans that you could do before, but there was really kind of no purpose to it. But this time around, they actually made clan pages and clan experience and clan.
They made it worthwhile.
They made it way worthwhile. Like the coolest thing about it is if you're in a clan with a bunch of people and they have your weekly clan.
I think it's called like a goal.
Yeah, goal. Basically, anybody that accomplishes it in your clan, you all benefit. So you all get a legendary engram out of it, and I like that a lot because not everybody can be online at the same time and have to do these things together. So I like that a lot. And when you level up your clan, we haven't really been able to see what you get as you level up, but everybody adds experience, and then I think you get like your own specific banner, and you get certain perks during Nightfall, stuff like that. But it's pretty cool so far with the clan page.
Yeah, that's way. I mean, then the only clan page in Destiny 1 was just the name.
Yeah.
This one actually has an in-game page where you can look at how
look
much
at your roster.
Yeah, how much experience you've contributed to the weekly experience.
Your personal experience, contribution, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, like we said, like we beat the Nightfall, and then my cousin PJ, who didn't beat the Nightfall but who's in our clan, got an engram out of it because he's just in our clan. So that is another cool thing. We didn't even talk about Lost Sectors, which is another cool thing. So we'll probably have to throw that in another video. But basically, there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. We're kind of scatterbrained and just kind of talking about things here and there. There's really no rhyme or reason to the video, but we haven't been active for a while. We just wanted to give everybody our impressions of it so far. And I mean, we're going to be coming back with more videos, maybe some Crucible videos if we kick ass. We probably won't, but definitely a raid video because we're going to get our first look at that tonight. Well, hopefully if
we might
one of our clansmen gets his shit together.
Yeah, we might even stream it. We'll see. But so basically stay tuned. We'll have a lot more coming at you. And if you are interested in anything you saw here, go pick up Destiny 2. We'll be online.
Yep.
So
look for N4L and look for our clan Next Gen Noobs for Life. Just in case you didn't know what N4L stood for, it's Noobs for Life.
Yep.
Goes way back to the Counter-Strike days. But we're on Destiny. We're having a good time, and that's it.
All right. Thanks for watching.